In 1987, Red Bull launched in Austria. The drink tasted strange. Doctors warned it might be dangerous. Several countries banned it outright. One European government called it a safety risk. Red Bull sold 12 billion cans last year. But here is what almost nobody understands about Red Bull. The drink is not the business. The drink is the entry point to a business that owns Formula One teams, football clubs, a film studio, and some of the most watched sporting events on Earth. Red Bull is a media company that happens to sell an energy drink. By the end of this video, you will understand how a chance encounter in Thailand in 1982 became worth $25 billion, and 3 principles that apply to whatever you are building. And if there is a company you want us to unpack next, drop it in the comments now. We read every single one. Dietrich Mateschitz was a 40-year-old Austrian marketing executive working for a toothpaste company when he landed in Bangkok in 1982. He was suffering from severe jet lag. A colleague suggested he try a local energy drink called Krating Daeng, Thai for Red Bull. It worked. His jet lag disappeared within hours. Mateschitz was not a scientist. He was a marketeer, and he immediately understood something the rest of the world had not yet figured out. The West had no equivalent of this product. He spent 2 years negotiating a deal with the Thai businessman who owned Krating Daeng, adapted the formula for Western tastes, and prepared to take it global. Mateschitz did not just import a drink. He invented a category. There was no energy drink market in 1987. He had to build the demand from scratch. And the way he chose to build that demand changed marketing forever. Mateschitz priced Red Bull significantly higher than other soft drinks and restricted distribution deliberately, seeding the drink in nightclubs, university campuses, and ski resorts rather than supermarkets. He wanted people to discover it rather than be sold it. The early marketing was entirely experiential. Red Bull-branded cars drove around giving out free cans at events. The message was never about the drink. It was always about what the drink enabled. When Red Bull entered the United States in 1997, every analyst said it would fail. Red Bull entered anyway, and within years had created the energy drink category from nothing. Red Bull spends roughly 30% of revenue on marketing. Coca-Cola spends around 8%. For every pound Red Bull makes, a third goes back into the brand. But here is the thing about that marketing spend. Almost none of it goes on traditional advertising, because Mateschitz had a different theory about how brands actually get built. In 2005, Red Bull launched Red Bull Media House, a full content production and distribution company. Red Bull TV reaches over 190 countries. The YouTube channel has over 15 million subscribers. Every piece of content reinforces the same brand values while having nothing directly to do with selling a drink. Most brands pay for content. Red Bull built a business that earns from it. The genius of this is that Red Bull is essentially getting paid to advertise itself. Media House generates revenue through licensing and distribution while building the brand simultaneously. This is the second principle building throughout this story. Your marketing should generate its own return, not just brand value, actual revenue. But the media company is only the beginning, because in 2004, Red Bull did something that changed the perception of what a consumer brand could do. Red Bull bought the Jaguar Formula One team in 2004 for approximately $1. Within 6 years, it had become the dominant force in the sport. Sebastian Vettel won 4 consecutive world championships. Red Bull then acquired a second Formula One team, giving it a dual presence at the pinnacle of world motorsport. Beyond Formula One, Red Bull owns football clubs across 4 continents. The pinnacle of the whole model came in 2012, when Felix Baumgartner jumped from 128,000 feet above the earth wearing a Red Bull suit. 8 million people watched live. The mission cost $65 million and generated 6 billion media impressions. Mateschitz did not buy advertising space. He created a moment so significant the world covered it for free. You have seen how the drink was built and the empire that followed. The 3 principles behind all of it are still coming. The last one is the most useful. The Red Bull story contains 3 principles that apply directly to whatever you are building. Build the category before you build the product. When Red Bull launched, there was no energy drink market. Mateschitz did not try to take share from Coca-Cola. He created a new category that did not exist and owned it from day one. The most powerful position is not leading an existing category. It is defining a new one. What category could you create that currently has no leader? Make your marketing worth seeking out. Red Bull Media House exists because Mateschitz understood that interruptive advertising was losing effectiveness. The future belonged to brands that created content people actively wanted. What would it look like if your marketing was something people chose to watch rather than skip? Own the culture around your product, not just the product. Red Bull does not sell energy. It sells a feeling and a set of values about performance and pushing limits. The drink is just the physical object that carries those values. Every business sells something functional. The ones that last sell what that thing means. What does your product mean to the people who use it? Every video on Unpack Business goes inside the companies most people use every day without understanding what is built underneath. If you want to keep understanding how the world's most powerful companies actually work, subscribe. And if the Red Bull story got you thinking about another company you want us to take apart, tell us in the comments. We build our content from what you ask for. We will see you in the next one.